Hey, everybody. You are now tuned into the Blackout, shining a light on Black excellence, activism, and culture. Blacked out by the majority on Afro Vibes Radio, the #1 online internet radio station, with your girl, Tequila. Today's special guests are entrepreneurs and founders of Next Level Barber Institute, Miss Kim and Cookie Willett. How are you doing this afternoon?
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. So for everybody out there that's tuned in and listening, the way that I met these two lovely ladies was I was actually needing to get my son's haircut, and I just seen a big old $6 sign on the window, and I was like, let me go see what this about. Right. And so I actually went, and it was a really good experience because all your staff was real welcoming. They was friendly to me, and I let them know I was with the radio station, and they took me straight to the back, and I got to meet y'all. Great. And so that's how we got here today. Great. So I want you to be able to start off, just introduce yourself and kind of tell us about how you became an entrepreneur and started your Barber Institute.
Okay, my name is Kim Willett. I'm originally from California by the way of Bay City, Texas. We've lived out there for 19 years where my barbering career started. So we've been in the barbering industry for about 20 years. Actually, this month was 20 years, and I've worked as a barber renting in a booth rent, and then I've also built my own shop. And as a result of that and being in the industry for about 20 years, I decided that we needed something else to our industry to bring it back to what it used to be. And so the professionalism is what I felt like lacked. So the only way that I felt like I can make an impact in our industry was to open up a barber school that instituted that very thought of performing with professionalism and on the cutting edge of technology. So that's our mission at Next Level Barber Institute.
Absolutely. And one thing we always discuss here is like education in Black students, and a lot of times college isn't made for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
So trade is such an important aspect
Right.
for occupations in the future. Just for yourself, how do you feel like going off and getting a barber trade actually got to excel you in your entrepreneurship?
Well, barbering actually afforded me to raise my 3 boys. I was a single mother raising 3 boys, and my middle son ended up with diabetes as a juvenile, type 1 diabetes, and so it gave me the flexibility and the liberty that I needed financially, and as far as the work schedule went, I was able to have a flexible schedule, so I decided that I was going to pursue as far as I could go with this career. And raising 3 boys, I've met a whole bunch of young men and realizing that everybody's not college bound. So therefore, saying just because you don't have a college degree don't mean you can't live a successful life and a very luxurious life, to the extent that you're willing to put in the effort and the work into
Absolutely.
That trade.
Why was barber one of those things, or what was it about barber school that actually gained your interest and made you want to make it into a career?
Just seeing the smiles on people's face, being able to take someone in your chair and to just transform their whole appearance, them feeling down on themselves, whether it be from relationship or whether it was work or just life itself, and then to be able to flip them in the mirror and be able to see the haircut, the shave, the mustache trim, or the eyebrow arch on a lady or whatever that encouraged them. It just put a smile on their face, and so that made me feel like my day was well spent that day, to be able to put that on a child's face as well, because kids are going through so much nowadays with being bullied at school. So being able to put a nice respectful hip, if you would, urban cut on a young man's hair that otherwise would not have had it at that rate that a barber school can charge, like the $6 that you've seen on the window. So with us being able to charge that, it allows single parents and people that are less fortunate still able to have quality cuts.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I like about it, because I have so many other friends that are single mothers, and sometimes you try to go take your son to get a haircut, it costs $16, $20, and you may not just have
Absolutely.
that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I ran up on a really good opportunity
Right.
in the moment, especially for me financially being
Right.
a single mom,
Right.
and I was just grateful,
Right.
and plus, I don't know how it is, but I heard with like boys, you got to find them a good place that they can continuously go.
Absolutely.
And I felt like we kind of been hopping around because he haven't felt that comfortable
Right.
place, but when he went there, it was like he liked the guy, he loved his cut.
Good.
He got the curly hair, so he
Good.
was like, I need somebody that's gonna be able to keep me fly,
Right.
but get me
Right,
shaped up
right,
nice.
right.
And so he was able to get that, and just being on the other side and and seeing, how it impacts their confidence, especially as young men of color too.
Right.
How do you feel like, them being able to enjoy those haircuts and come in and say, hey, this is what's trendy, this is what's new, even with the world kind of having so much pressure on that natural hair in the Black
Right,
community?
right.
How do you feel like you've been able to help them with that confidence so they can be okay with just rocking their hair?
Well, natural hair is what's in now, and every natural haircut, or if a young man comes in and their hair is long and they want to taper on the sides or taper in the back, or even if they get a faux hawk and keep all the hair at the natural length on the top, everyone is custom designed to their head, to their face, to their shape. So it's like an artist. You can see the end of a design or a picture or a painting before you even begin it. You could see it. So sitting and giving a client consultation and talking to them and just feeling their personality and feeling what kind of vibes that they give off during their client consultation. They don't even know they're having a client consultation. That's how smooth that is. And then turn around and cut that cut to fit that person's head. You know what I mean? And their personality. And then at the end of the cut, when they flip them around in the mirror and they smile, you know that you reached that goal.
And I know earlier you mentioned as a tip that professionalism was one of the things that you felt like was missing out the industry. And now you just mentioned being able to really consultate with your clients.
Right.
What do you feel like are 3 things that people really need to value more when it comes to the barber industry?
I think professionalism is number 1, and then 2 is customer service. Making sure that your customer service is on point. That will give you return customers every time. When you make a person feel special and you make them feel important, other than just coming in and paying their monies to your business or your organization, I feel like that will give you return customers every single time. It'll give them an experience that they won't be able to forget. And then also the professionalism, the customer service, and then education. Making education affordable, making it affordable for everyone across the board without having to have the loans and stuff setting you up for failure at the end of your schooling. So that's what we've done at Next Level. Made it affordable, made the payments affordable, and then at the end of your completion of your program, then you're debt free.
Absolutely. So going into Next Level, tell us a little bit about y'all's mission and goals.
Okay, so our mission at Next Level is to educate at an affordable price and to give professionalism, barbering, give the school professionalism and barbering on the cutting edge of technology. So we know that when I started out in barbering, we had clippers with the cords in it. Now that we're dealing with clippers and tools and instruments that don't have cords, everything is cordless. So keeping the students on the cutting edge of technology, even as it relates to their learning, doing the PowerPoints instead of just the books, doing the iPads instead of just the regular textbooks, PowerPoints, doing videos with them, being able to not just tell them how a cut is done, to be able to show them from the beginning to an end and then walk them back through it with the mannequins or with each other's cuts or even customers that come in. So that is our goal there, is to take barbering to the next level in professionalism and customer service.
So tell us about some of the services you offer, because I know when I went, I seen a guy, he was getting his dreadlocks done. Another guy was getting a taper fade. So I know you offer more than just, getting a haircut.
Oh, yeah. We actually, barbering is all you need in the hair industry. I mean, I know it sounds biased because I'm a barber, but technically, barbers can do everything cosmetologists can do and more. So we can use the razor, we can shave, we can style hair, we can color hair, we can do highlights, we can do manicures, we can do facials, we shave, we do eyebrow arching, we do perms, curls too if you're still wearing them. So we still do rock the curls. We do all of that. So there's nothing that you can miss us with in the barbering industry.
That's amazing. So just for some of your students, like what has the perception been for them when they come back and tell you after they graduate how it's helped them along their journey?
Well, I try to have a personal relationship with all the students, so therefore, they tell me that I've made their lives so much better, where they're able to talk to me more than just about barbering. They're able to talk to me about what's going on in their homes and in their families, and not to hear it again, not to hear it amongst the students. So what they share with me is confidential. and then to be able to give them the independence in a economical world that we're in today, the statuses that we're in today, where they can make their money with a flexible schedule. Because all of our lives are so demanding now as far as our careers are concerned. So just to be able to have a flexible schedule and to be able to uh, the experience that they have, they're coming in, they feel at home, they feel welcome, they don't feel threatened, they feel that one-on-one, being that we're a new school. We have 27 students in the school, so we're doing good not to have been open a year yet. February 12th will be a year that we'll be open.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So why did y'all choose to actually be located in the Cypress area, which I know right now is thriving? A lot of people are starting to move over there, but why did you want to choose Fry Road?
So Katy doesn't have a barber school at all. So I'm sitting right on the borderline of Katy and Cypress, on the corner of Clay and Fry, 3815 North Fry Road. Suite 540 is our actual address to Next Level Barber Institute. And then I went and looked at the high school, the academic rates and the ethnicities and where their success rates lie. And I just felt like our kids could be helped, and children that are less fortunate, don't have two parent homes, they could get a trade. And half of the kids that have come in, they already know how to cut. They just needed to get a license, and they needed to have a place where that it was in their community, in their area, so their parents could be able to get them to school and get them home, and still be able to get up and go to school the next day.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm glad you mentioned the kids that already know how to cut, because it's like a little guy in my neighborhood. I've been watching him since he was a kid,
Right.
and he's been cutting hair in his garage practically
Right.
his whole life. I don't know if he have a license or anything, but I think it's a lot of young men out here that just naturally have that talent, but they don't
Absolutely.
realize that that's a way to have monetary value as well that they can monetize upon.
Right.
So how has your school actually been able to kind of show them, like, this is not just a skill set, but it's a passion for you that you can actually live off of?
Right. Well, when you're passionate about something, you don't mind doing it, and you'll put your all into it. So we have a couple young guys that come in that are high school students, and they go to school all day, and then they come in, and we're open till 9 at night. So they come in and do a couple hours in the day, and then they finish up the evening program. And they only have to do 1,000 hours when you're in high school still. And when you enroll into the barbering program and they're in high school, they only have to do 1,000 hours, whereas with anyone else, they would have to do 1,500 hours. And those boys are so passionate about what they do. They cut from the time they get in there to the time they leave, and then they tell me we're going home and grind it out even some more. So they go home and they cut. So they just, and then their tips that I allow them to make at the school, they're able to make tips, and then they go and buy new equipment, and then they come in all excited, showing me that they got their new clippers and their new supplies and stuff. So you could tell the passion is there.
That's good. I'm really glad that y'all found not just to do like a job or just, to be a part of an industry and an entrepreneur, but you found a way to incorporate giving back to the community.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when we spoke, one of the things that you mentioned was being able to go out into the detention centers and into the schools
Right.
to get some of them kids to come out and learn about a trade. Tell us
Right.
about how you guys are actually helping out the community.
Okay, so as far as the TDYC with the children, we offered our services. Well, it's a twofold thing. We offered our services to them. So, those young men and those ladies in there, they need their hair cut and they need their hair done. So those are incentives for them to get their hair done. By them acting good, then instead of them just getting buzz cuts, they can actually get taper fades or faux hawks. And to have someone go in and really that care about the children and give them quality cuts, just not going in there for a paycheck or going in there for notoriety, but going in there because you really care about the children. So we're able to do that, so our students can go in there and get the experience of cutting, and then also offering them the educational side of it, so those that can cut or want to be redirected into the barbering industry or in the hair industry, they can come in. And we're doing 180 hours that's required by the state. We're going to do that online, and then after they're released, then they can come in and do their practical hours on either of
That's
our
amazing.
locations. Yeah.
Absolutely. We got to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I want you to be able to go more into how they can actually get into the program. Tell us a little bit about tuition, how they can get help with that as well through Pell Grants if they need be,
Okay.
and just provide, again, the address, social media, so they can actually learn more. We got to go to a quick break. When we return, we will continue our conversation. You guys are still listening to The Blackout, always shining a light on Black excellence, activism, and culture on Afro Vibes Radio with your girl, Tequila. Hey guys, you're now tuned back into the Blackout, shining a light on Black excellence, activism, and culture, blacked out by the majority, on Afro Vibes Radio, the #1 online internet radio station, with your girl, Tequila. We're currently still in the studio with the entrepreneurs and founders of Next Level Barber Institute, Miss Kim and Cookie Willett. Now, you may not see Cookie, okay? I just want to put out there, she didn't want to come on camera today, but she is in here in full effect supporting here for her business, and so we do appreciate her. She running the camera on the side doing the Facebook Live, so thank you, Ms. Willow. We appreciate that. So just to hop back into it, you were telling us a little bit about how y'all give back into the community, and I want you to kind of tell them how they can go about to actually get into the program and receive these services.
Okay, there's several ways that you can get into the program. At this point, at the location in Katy, we do not accept financial aid because people really don't realize that financial aid is loans and the Pell Grant combined. So in order for us to accept the Pell Grant, they wanted our tuition to be up to a certain amount, and then I didn't want to send the children or the students out with that type of loan on their head when they left the school. So what I did is I just lowered the prices affordable that they could pay it out of pocket, and they're able to get tips, so they can pay it out of their tips that they make. Usually the amounts that they make in the course of a week will pay their tuition for that next coming week. That's one way. Also, we accept what used to be called the DARS program. Now it's called VARS, Vocation Rehabilitation Services, and it's housed in the Texas Workforce Center. Okay. So you can go there and apply if you have any type of disability or any type of ailments that will cause you not to be able to function in your normal job setting. You could go and get an interview with them, and they don't charge for it at all. And let them evaluate you to see if you qualify for that. So we have that, and then also we're getting ready to partner with someone that does accept the Pell Grant and stuff, so that you will be. I can't announce who it is just yet until we get it finalized. But as soon as it's finalized, then you will be able to access our campus in Katy as well as in South Texas for the barbering program at both locations.
Absolutely. That's such a beautiful thing. And so alongside of that, I was going to ask you earlier, what was the change coming from Cali to Texas, and why did you want to do that here?
Well, in California, that was where I was born and raised, so I was in my youth there. I was still in school and playing sports and really didn't have an entrepreneur mindset at that time that I recognized. But when I look back, I guess I did, because I used to make candy bags and would sell it to the kids. So I guess I did have, at the point where I was in school, I did have an entrepreneur mindset. But what happened was I ended up with 3 boys, being a single parent, and I was in nursing first. And as a result of my son getting sick, I had to figure out something that I could make that type of salary, but yet have the flexibility to be with my boys, playing football and going through their schooling with them all the way up until they graduated out of high school. And then also, since I had maximized in this industry, it afforded me the flexibility for even when my baby son was playing football at Rice University, I was able to go to the games and be a part of his life in that too.
Oh, they living good.
Oh, they're really good. So that's what you can do even on education that is not Ivy League schools. You can still have an exceptional living lifestyle with this trade in barbering.
What do you think, or how do you think your entrepreneurship has actually inspired your children with wanting to be entrepreneurs themselves, or just, handling their business overall?
They think there's nothing they can't do that won't work. They seen that everything I've put my hands to, and they see my work ethics, so they realized at a young age that if you don't work, you don't eat. So they realized that, and even my son that has just undergone LVAD, open heart surgery at the age of 25, he's a pipe fitter in the plant. He still gets out and tries to work and do stuff to keep himself going, because that's what I've put in them. Work. If you don't work, you don't eat. So they like to eat. Men like to eat. So
true.
And actually, I have all of them actually becoming a part into the barbering world, so that this legacy can carry on even after I leave here.
That's beautiful. That's another thing we always try to teach people about generational wealth. You
Right.
got to be able to leave some for your kids because
Absolutely.
with the climate that we live in now, it's like people don't stay on a job 20, 30, 40 years.
Right.
I guess like my
Right.
grandmother's era did.
Right.
People hopping from different
Right.
jobs. And then the other thing that you mentioned I like is that you started in nursing and then you went to barber school. My
Right.
mom always told me you got to have more than one hustle. You can't just
Absolutely.
depend on one income. And I think that you're really setting the tone and the example by
Right.
doing that and showing people it's okay. You may start here, but it's about how you end up and
That's
what you
right.
do with that. And so people
Absolutely.
need to see that. So you're like the perfect example, and the fact that you do have that personal relationship with the guys there.
Right.
Like I respect that because I have sons, and having that mentorship is so important for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just a program like yours, it allows them to know that they just so much more than what they could ever imagine.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, I just want you to kind of break down really quickly just how the program works. Like, what do they start with first, up leading to their graduation?
Okay, so when you come in, all you have to have is your ID and your social to enroll. It's $225 to enroll. That covers your registration and your permit. Then the program, entering into the Class A barber program is $4,500, and if you go full time, it's $90 a week, and if you go part time, it's $60 a week. And so that 60 and that 90 goes towards that that 4,500. So at the
That's not
end of
bad.
your program, you will be totally paid out of the program, and you will leave owing no debt. Also, the program also it is contingent upon your schedule. So if you go part time, then we work with your schedule. So if you're working, then you could set your schedule to do at least 20 hours a week. Anything over 20 hours is full time, and the full time program runs 9 months and it's 1,500 hours for the Class A barber program, and the full time schedule is 9 months. Excuse me, and the part time schedule is 12 months to complete. We also offer a crossover program from cosmetology into barbering. It's a 300-hour program, which takes about 3 months, and it's 1,800, and it's 225 to start that as well. Then you don't have to end there. You can go all the way to where I am, and you can get your instructor's license, which your barber license is a prerequisite of the instructor's license, and it's 700 hours, and it's $3,000 to do that program at $90 a week on full time, and we don't offer it at a part time basis, but on a full time basis you can do that, and you can also maximize your potential in this industry.
So overall, what would you like to see, in the years coming up when it comes to next level barbering your students?
I would just like to see us actually looking at Ivy League colleges and seeing how they formatted their programs, where they have what do you call? Look, I've lost some words. Where you call the people that come back and they actually help the students that are going now. Lots of words. Anyway, want to have the kids coming back from year to year to have reunions at the school,
Okay.
and to lead the other children.
Like the alumni?
Yeah, alumni.
Yeah.
There you go. So to have the alumni of the school, and where they will actually sew into the children that are currently going to school, whether they come back and they give speeches, or they give in scholarships to some of the kids that can't afford, whether it's paying for their registrations or whatever. And then us also being able to give out scholarships every year for students to be able to go to school that qualify for those scholarships.
That's amazing. Well, I'm really proud of y'all for what y'all do. I think that's awesome. The fact that it's just right up the street from my house. I didn't already posted the flyer. Everybody
Thank
was like,
you.
"Oh, that's up the street on Clay. I'm going." I'm like,
Right.
"Y'all come on,
Appreciate
help
that.
support them." But I'm just so grateful, and I'm glad that y'all allowed me to just highlight y'all excellence and bring y'all here, because that's what we do. We try to let people know the resources available to them, because you're not gonna see this on television every day. You're not
Right.
gonna always open a paper and see it. So this is where they can come. So before you get out of here, just give us your website and your social media, and any way they can contact you directly if they want to ask any questions or have concerns.
Okay, so our physical address is 3815 North Fry Road, Suite 540 in Katy, Texas 77449. The phone number there is 832-391-6757. Again, it's 832-391-6757. Our social media is the same on Facebook as well as Instagram. It's Next Level Barber Institute. You could click on there, you could like our page, you could follow us, and we'll definitely follow you back. Also, we have a Twitter. You can go on there. It's Next Level Barber Institute as well. Our website where you can fill out an application. Someone will get back with you within 24 hours of you filling out your inquiry of the school. We'll have someone get back with you in 24 hours. It's www.nxtlvlbi.com. That stands for Next Level Barber Institute.
And before you got to hear any words of advice or inspiration for those young men that may feel like they're trying to figure out what they want to do and they may have a talent but just don't feel like they're going to be able to succeed at it despite what their circumstances may be.
No matter what your circumstances is, don't let temporary situations determine a final destination that you have in your life. There's always a tomorrow, and with every tomorrow there's opportunity and possibilities. And if you come to Next Level Barber Institute, you will discover that there is a way out.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all so much. That was good though. I'm so appreciative for real. And thank you all for tuning in again to another episode of The Blackout, where we always shine a light on Black excellence, activism, and culture with your girl Tequila on Afro Vibes Radio. Make sure to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at The Blackout AVR. And to stay up to date on our previous discussions and future events, please visit Afro Vibes Facebook and Instagram at Afro Vibes Radio, Twitter at Afro Vibes Radio with an S, and lastly, listen to us online at www.afrovibesradio.com or simply download the Afro Vibes Radio app on the Apple or Google Play Store.